Hello, giving season is upon us. The time to be grateful, to give thanks, and to give to those who are in need. I'm Jay Fagan with the Mattox Group, and here we're going to talk about some new changes to the tax code that are going to incentivize or perhaps change some of your giving, and talk really importantly about how impactful giving season can be. So let's get stuck in. So it's that time of year. The holidays are upon us. Christmas is soon in the air. It's certainly in the stores. And in Monterey County, here on the Central Coast of California, the annual Monterey County Gives campaign, which is an incredible opportunity each year to support hundreds of local charities and nonprofit organizations, is kicking off on November 13th. By the way, that organization, the Community Foundation for Monterey County Weekly, and those who've supported Monterey County Gives have raised tens of millions of dollars for thousands of nonprofits, all through the generosity of our local community. And it's absolutely incredible what they do and the organizations that participate in that campaign. And so, charitable giving, it is that time of year. Why do people give? For a variety of reasons they do. In our family, we give because it's one of the three things that you get to do with money. You get to spend, you get to save, and you get to give. And ideally, over time, you grow to the point where you can be outrageously generous with those who are in need and about those causes that you care the most. We are a communal species. We are, as humans, meant to be connected to each other and to support one another. We do that in a variety of ways in our communities through churches and civic organizations and nonprofit organizations we're involved in, our schools, our extended families. And we do that through giving of our time, our energy, our talent, skills, and abilities. I think it's important to note that whatever your circumstances, your time is the most valuable thing that you can give to any organization. And to the extent that you are able, I encourage you to do so. So, with Monterey County Gives kicking off and this giving season upon us, I want to talk about a couple of changes in the tax code that are perhaps going to change the incentives that many taxpayers have to give. Starting in January 1st, 2026, under the new OB3 tax bill, if you do not itemize, which is the vast majority of American taxpayers, you now have the ability to claim a charitable deduction of up to $1,000 per taxpayer or $2,000 for married joint filers. You don't have to itemize otherwise. Just by being generous, you can deduct up to $1,000 of your generosity. In order to pay for that, the tax code giveth and the tax code taketh away. For taxpayers who've been itemizing for a number of years and have been generous in their charitable contributions, a new floor has been created, a little bit of a penalty, if you will, in the tax code to expand charitable contributions to everyone. Now, if you're an itemized filer, there's a new 1.5% floor that comes into play. Similar rules as with the itemized medical deductions. Now, a new floor, a new change for charitable contributions for itemized filers. Again, the trade off to that is all taxpayers who give to charity are going to be able to receive some marginal tax benefit on their federal tax return. And I think we can all agree Americans across the nation for decades, generations have been generous and have not received any tax benefit. So it's probably okay that in this tax legislation, now they do. Now, is that a reason to give to people who are in need? No. We don't want to spend whole dollars to save 20, 25 cents on your taxes. If you've been listening to me, I say that. That's not a strategy, but a life strategy is we give to those who are in need. We give to those that we care about. And if there's a tax benefit to it, great, let's do it. I can remember back in 2017, maybe some of you can, when the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act came into place, charities across the nation thought that was going to be the death knell for them, that people weren't going to get a tax deduction, and so they'd stop giving. And thankfully, that wasn't what actually happened. Because in the reality is the vast majority of taxpayers were already giving to charities and receiving no tax benefit whatsoever for doing it. And they've not only continued to give, they've been more generous than before the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. So Monterey County Gives opens on November 13th, as this video should be going live. And if you're thinking about being generous this season to qualified charities, that's a great place to start. If you don't have an organization like this in your area, certainly look for a community foundation, and they generally have a good handle on what the needs are in your community. My wife and I, for a variety of reasons, we have supported a number of organizations over the years, and this year, as we have for several years now, there's a few that are near and dear to our hearts, and I want to share those with you. First and foremost is the Food Bank for Monterey County. Over the years, they've been able to take $1 of donations and turn it into $5 of food. And there's no reason in this nation that has really such incredible opportunities that anyone should go hungry. And the Food Bank for Monterey County ensures that rings true for Monterey County and the surrounding areas, Monterey and San Benito counties. So if you have a food bank in your area, I highly recommend them as a great place to start. My wife has supported Girls Inc. over the years, a great organization to help develop powerful leaders and that spirit of leadership and community in girls and uplifting girls and women. I happen to be married to an absolutely incredible woman, and I'm the girl dad of an unbelievable daughter. And so anytime we get a chance to support the evolution and the expansion and growth of women and girls, we are ecstatic to be able to do so. I happen to serve on the board and the newly installed treasurer, because what's an accountant without being the treasurer of a nonprofit board of Ventana Wildlife Society? I've had the opportunity to serve on a number of boards over the years. It is always a wonderful thing to do with your time. And Ventana Wildlife Society, the Condor Rescue and Education folks, are absolutely brilliant organization, and I'm honored to work with that incredible team over there. And then lastly, I want to mention CASA of Monterey County. And if you have a CASA in your area, that is an organization that is always in need of support. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate for Children. These are advocates that are there to help children in the foster care system or the justice system navigate the challenges and the pitfalls and the emotional traumas that just are part of being in that system and going through that process. As many who know us know, my wife and I had the great privilege to adopt in 2021. We have two amazing children, and they did not have CASA advocates in that process, and thankfully they had us, and we were able to be their advocate throughout the time that we had in the foster system through adoption. But there are countless children across our country, and certainly here in our own community, who need a great advocate, a trusted friend and advisor, just like our business clients need an advocate and a trusted advisor in their corner. And CASA really goes out of their way to provide an incredible service. There are countless other organizations throughout the region and the country who could use your support. On our website, our TMG endorsed provider section, we have a number of charities that we personally vouch for and stand behind. As always, do your due diligence and make sure that your needs work for you. Lastly, I'll note for our retirees or those nearing retirement, maybe you haven't been able to be as generous as you've thought you wanted to be over the years. Now you're in retirement, you're facing required minimum distributions. I highly encourage you to talk to your financial advisors, your wealth advisors, and your tax advisors. If you're not my client, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're always looking to bring on qualified new clients and be a trusted advocate for them. But talk to them about qualified charitable distributions, or QCDs. Or if you have a great community foundation in your region, like we do here in Monterey County, you can talk about charitable remainder trusts, stewardship funds, endowment funds, all kinds of things that are available in terms of legacy and bequest giving as you age and as you think about the legacy you're going to leave when you graduate to the next chapter in this life and beyond. So huge opportunities, whether now in your working years or later as you build your legacy, to be kind, to be generous, and to leave a lasting mark on this planet and in your communities. I'm Jay Fagan with the Mattox Group. Thank you for investing some of your time with me today. Thank you for being generous in your community and throughout the country. Look forward to our next video. Stay tuned. Allons-y.